it's Michelle, and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. I want to thank everyone who has gone over and checked out my other YouTube channel, Royal Daily Tea History and Fashion. You guys are really enjoying Corinna and the King, and you guys, I'm working on episode 3. It's going to be lit. So if you haven't checked out Corinna and the King, please go over to the Royal Daily Tea History and Fashion channel and make sure you check it out, guys. This is based on a real story of the former King of Spain who was forced to abdicate in 2014 due to massive scandal and an affair and a missing 65 million euros he may have gifted his mistress. You guys, it is so crazy. The Spanish royals make the British monarchy look like a bunch of kittens. Anyways, guys, we have a lot of juicy Royal Daily Tea to get through today, so you know what to do. Sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. Well, we have some exciting royal news. Princess Iman of Jordan, the daughter of King Abdullah II and Queen Rania, got married on March 12th to her fiancé, Jamil Alexander Thermatis. Now, this was a beautiful outdoor wedding. It was very small and intimate. Apparently, only 150 family and guests gathered. Now, this event was televised on Jordan TV, but no other dignitaries or royal families were invited. It was just a very small and intimate event. Now, Iman, age 26, is the second oldest child of Queen Rania and Prince Abdullah II. She walked down the aisle on the arm of her older brother, Crown Prince Hussein, who was also engaged to be married this summer. Now, she wore a beautiful wedding gown designed by Dior. It was very simple, very elegant, very chic. It had a beautiful high neck illusion that featured a very delicate lace embroidery, and that same lace was also on her veil. She looked absolutely stunning. The venue was beautiful. There was these big glass windows. There were flowers. It was a gorgeous looking venue. Absolutely stunning. You don't have to have a spectacle for a royal wedding. You can have a very pared down and private event. This was classy and stunning, and I just in awe of how beautiful and how much she looks like her mother. Now, a lot of people were questioning the tiara that she wore for her wedding. Some people believed she bought a brand new tiara, but actually that was her something borrowed. She actually borrowed the tiara from her grandmother, Princess Muna Al Hussein. She looked absolutely stunning. Congratulations to the happy couple. Well, I think the days of Harry and Meghan being able to control the narrative and sue everyone, cancel people, get people fired from their jobs for speaking negatively about Harry and Meghan, I believe those days are now over. Now, in the most ironic twist that you could ever imagine, Netflix is currently filming the 6th season of The Crown, and they are now approaching modern day royals. We're not talking about things that happened 30 years ago. We're getting a little closer now in the past 10 to 15 years, up to Harry, Meghan, William, and Catherine. So in the current upcoming season, in my opinion, it's going to be a ratings bonanza because they're dealing with the death of Princess Diana as well as the courtship of William and Catherine. And leading up to, I believe, season 7, it's going to feature Harry and Meghan. How much they're going to feature, what they're going to feature, we don't know. But I can tell you, in season 6, they are going to feature the infamous Nazi uniform incident where Harry famously sat there on the couch with Meghan Markle for his Netflix docuseries and accused William of Catherine and making him wear that uniform. Now, we all know that's a bunch of bull. He literally tried to throw his brother under the bus and remain innocent and blameless. But I do find it a little bit ironic that Netflix, the person he is employed with, is portraying him in a very negative and racist light. Kind of ironic, considering the fact that him and his wife have accused the royal family and the royal institution of racism and unconscious bias. So now they're featuring Harry himself in what he calls the most shameful incident in his life. Now, we don't know if they're going to take his narrative of the story where he throws William and Kate under the bus and they make it look like they were making him don the costume, or if they're going to play it out that it was in fact Harry's choice. But I find it very interesting that the Duke and Duchess of lawsuits, the Sue Happy Sussexes, trying to cancel and fire people with that lobster claw grasp of trying to control the narrative, are literally getting the middle finger from Netflix. Because they're like, we don't care what you think, we're going to do what we want to do because we need to make money. And let's be honest here, season 5 of The Crown was kind of a bomb. I watched it, but it was not the best season. Now, season 6 and the final season, season 7, are going to be more up to date with the current royal family. I believe season 6 is going to be very controversial and it's going to be a ratings bonanza because they're dealing with the death of Princess Diana all the way up to Harry and Meghan. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to play out that storyline. But the fact that Harry and Meghan no longer can control or tell people what they can do creatively, they can't control the narrative, is very interesting. Now, we know they're not going to sue Netflix. They're not going to bite the hand that's feeding them. But I do find it a little bit ironic that they're portraying him in a negative light in The Crown, and he's currently working with them for the Heart of Invictus. We'll keep you posted if we hear any more details of what's going to happen in the upcoming season 6 of The Crown. So there's no official word yet if Harry and Meghan will attend King Charles's coronation. Although I would definitely say it's 99.9% sure these two royal grifters are not missing any opportunity to come out in a tiara slumping their newly christened daughter, Princess Lilibet Diana and Prince Archie. Now, we know Archie turns 4 on the day of King Charles's coronation, and there has been no official invite for their children, considering the fact they are very, very small. However, there's rumors that Harry and Meghan would like some sort of acknowledgement of Archie's birthday during the coronation festivities, which I think is extremely ridiculous considering it's a coronation of King Charles, not Archie's birthday. No one cares that it's Archie's birthday. Now, there's also a new rumor that Harry and Meghan want some sort of blessing for Lilibet during the coronation. As you remember, King Charles is the head of the Church of England. So all royal christenings are a big deal. They don the christening gown, they have the holy oil, the holy water, the king, the queen are there. It's a very big deal for the royal family. And the fact that Lilibet was christened at a backyard barbecue in Montecito is as far removed from the royal family as you could possibly get. Now, Archie did have a formal royal christening where the Queen and Prince Philip were in attendance. So you know they want the same thing for Lilibet. So there's rumors that they might try to hold a private christening or blessing with King Charles, and maybe Lilibet will don the christening outfit because, again, he is the head of the Church of England, and royal christenings are a very big deal, and they want that royal connection with their children and the monarch. So the fact that they had this private little christening with no photos, with no royal connection, you know they're going to want to get it. So I believe that the Sussexes will definitely attend the coronation. They're going to try to have some little birthday party for little Archie and try to get some kind of mention in the coronation celebrations. But there could be an attempt to have King Charles hold some kind of blessing for Lilibet. Maybe she'll even don the christening outfit. So it might not be the formal christening, but mark my words, they're going to try to get something done for Lilibet, and that is why they wanted to bring out those titles. These two royal grifters are trying really hard to hold on to that royal family connection. And like I said, royal christenings are a big deal. I can definitely see them trying to pull out all of the stops to bring the family together to bless their daughter. And then Archie's little birthday party, they're going to try to pull some kind of stunt. Mark my words. But again, these two are going to bring out their kids to the king and present for a blessing because they want to make sure them and their children remain in the royal fold. So there's been more stories and speculations that kind of come out in regards to the whole Fergie and Meghan Markle relationship. What is actually the truth? Do they really know each other? Are they really friends? Well, in my opinion, I'm Team Fergie. I really do not believe they know each other, and they certainly are not friends. Now, we know Fergie, the original royal grifter herself, this woman has been clinging on to her royal connection for 25 years. She has been out of the royal fold longer than she was in. So her and Meghan have that in common. And they both like to monetize their titles. The difference is Fergie actually has talent, has written books that have nothing to do with slamming the royal family. So she's got Meghan beat on that area. Not to mention, Fergie has been very loyal to Her Majesty the Queen and now to King Charles. She most recently came out and said she supports King Charles. So in my opinion, she's already telling you what court she's in, Harry and Meghan or the royal family. She's staying with the royals, sweetheart. She knows where her bread is buttered. Now, we know for the past 25 years, she literally has been shunned from the royal family due to her scandalous divorce and Prince Philip not liking her. She has not been invited to any royal events until this past Christmas. However, when Harry and Meghan got married, they threw her an olive branch and they invited her to their wedding. And she was shocked and she was so happy to be invited to something. She was not invited to William and Catherine's wedding in 2011 due to the fact I believe another scandal had just erupted. I believe it was the one where she was recorded undercover selling access to the royal family for like $100,000. Now look, Fergie has issues. You know, I have a love-hate relationship with her. She's gotten caught with her hands in the cookie jar. She's a hustler. She's a grifter. And she is not afraid to use that Diana card because we all know she doesn't really have anything with the royals. She's not in the royal circle. She's shacking up with Prince Andrew, but that's literally her connection and her connection through her daughters. But she's an outcast. So every time people talk to her, oh, Diana, we were such friends. You know, we go way back. Oh, Diana, she'd be proud of her boys. Oh, Diana would be a good grandma. Oh, you know, Diana and I were best friends. You know, Diana. She always brings out the Diana card, much like Harry and my mom. Those two cling to that Diana card, but Fergie doesn't really have anything else to cling to. Now she's got the Queen's corgis. Oh, look, me and the corgis have the Queen. Look at us. She's always trying to drag something out to make herself relevant. Look, I'm not angry at the woman. She's got to pay her bills. She's living with Andrew. You know what I'm saying. At least she's trying with her books. Meghan Markle has been trouble since day one. She had no intention of being a royal. We all know the story. So Fergie was a royal wife for 7-8 years, and she stayed loyal to the royal family even when they kicked her out and shut the door. She has stayed loyal and not spoken out negatively about the royal family. But Meghan literally is making her money by playing the victim and accusing the royal family of racism. So these two women are completely different, but also similar. But they both want that royal connection. They both want that pomp and circumstance. They both want to monetize their titles. They both want to be within the royal fold. One of them monetizes by playing the victim and by trashing the family. The other one, at least she's written some books. She's created charities. She might even have a TV show coming out about her recent novel. At least she's trying to do something on her own, although with a Duchess title. But Meghan can't do anything because she has no talent. And one thing I will say about Fergie, she has stood behind Andrew. She has held that man up for 25 years. Even though I really want her to get herself a new man and move out of that damn house, you got to hand it to the woman. She's been kicked to the curb, but she's not leaving. She's literally like a cockroach. The woman will not leave. She's a hustler. She is a royal grifter. But one thing I will say about Fergie is that she has definitely let it known that she supports King Charles. And she was friends with Diana, and she knows that Diana would not like Meghan. I mean, she knows. No mother is going to like a woman who divides her children. I don't care who you are, sweetheart. Mama Bear ain't going to like you. So when they talk about how, Fergie and Meghan were such good friends, they really weren't. Although Harry and Meghan wanted to have allies for Meghan. So they thought, okay, we're going to throw Fergie a bone. That woman's been trying to get into the royal fold. So they invited her to their wedding because they were friendly with Princess Eugenie and her husband. So it would be nice to invite Fergie. Now, the whole incident about Frogmore Cottage, it might have happened for a couple of minutes. We don't know. That doesn't mean she necessarily had a full-blown conversation and got to know Meghan. They said in the docuseries that he wanted to have a soft landing for Meghan. He wanted to bring Meghan slowly into the royal fold, so they thought the first logical person after Princess Eugenie was Fergie. And so they brought her to the Royal Lodge, and the Queen was there, and Andrew was there. Remember, she thought he was the help. And Fergie supposedly taught her to curtsy for like a minute outside. That doesn't mean you know that person. You barely got introduced to her. Supposedly they stayed for drinks. We don't know if a conversation happened. But even if they sat there and they all talked in a room, it doesn't necessarily mean that Fergie really knows her. Just casually meeting someone for a couple of minutes does not make you best friends for life. So after the Royal Lodge in October of 2016, where she might have done the curtsy, Fergie literally probably wouldn't have seen them until their actual wedding in May of 2018, because remember, Fergie's not really invited to a lot of royal events. So the next time she would have seen them probably would have been at their wedding. And again, she was not invited to the reception, only the church. And she was a little pissed that she was not invited to the dinner at Frogmore House, which is where they had their reception. Fergie got to go to the church, and that was it. The next time they would have met up is October of 2018, which was Princess Eugenie's wedding. And again, they're at a wedding with hundreds of people. There's a reception. But how much did they actually interact? We don't know. Now remember, during this wedding, there was a huge faux pas where Harry and Meghan let the cat out of the bag that Meghan was expecting. And Fergie, as the mama bear, was pissed. She was like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Yes, she did, at her daughter's wedding. Now, it was not publicly announced, but it became common knowledge among some of the guests and family at the wedding that Meghan was expecting. Now, they later publicly announced it on Fergie's 59th birthday. I believe it was the following Monday. And on that day, Fergie was crickets, did not congratulate nor mention their pregnancy announcement. Instead, she was like, let's talk about my dress that I wore at the wedding. You like my dress? Shout out to my designer. Oh, and congratulations to my beautiful daughter on her wedding. Never acknowledged Harry and Meghan. Now, this was back in October of 2018. Now, the very next time they would have met is November of 2021, where Princess Eugenie christened her son August, but Harry and Meghan were not in attendance. So the very next time they saw each other was September of 2022. Now you have to remember, in March of 2020, Harry and Meghan left the UK for America. That's when Megxit started. So literally there was only like 2 or 3 events where they possibly could have met each other briefly before they moved to America. So since March of 2020, Harry and Meghan have not lived in the country, and they've only been back 5 times. So the next time they would have seen each other is for the Queen's funeral on September 22nd. Harry and Meghan and Fergie attend the Queen's funeral, and she said, "You look lovely." Again, not a lot of interaction here. So now we have March of 2023 where people are asking Fergie, what does she think about Harry and Meghan? And she's like, I don't really know her. And Fergie recently had an appearance where she gave a speech and she talked about the power of forgiveness and compassion and family unity, where those are 3 things that Meghan and Harry certainly do not stand for. So right there, she's telling you, I support King Charles. I believe in compassion. I believe in forgiveness. I believe in family unity. But what are Harry and Meghan doing? The complete opposite. She's never forgiven her father. They're trashing the family for money. They're not about family unity or forgiveness. Compassion and compromise was the other thing. Compromise. Have you seen Harry and Meghan compromise on anything? No, it's their way or the highway. So Fergie flat out is telling y'all, I don't know her. We ain't friends. I'm Team Charles. And Princess Diana, my best friend, would be a really great grandma, and she'd be proud of her boys. And Harry's really happy with Meghan. The end. She's not singing Meghan's praises. So according to Neil Sean, Meghan Markle is a little mad that Fergie, you know, the woman they threw that little bone to, you could come to my wedding, but you can't come to my reception, and you better be my cheerleader, isn't cheering for her. Because Fergie, even though she's a grifter, even though she's got her hands caught in a little cookie jar, even though she's monetizing her titles, she's not trashing the family. She's supporting the monarchy. She's about unity. She's about compromise. She's about forgiveness. Nothing that Harry and Meghan represent. She's like, I don't know her, boo, and don't lump us 2 together. So in my opinion, I'm Team Fergie, and I believe Fergie. She doesn't know her. They've met briefly on a couple of social occasions, but Harry and Meghan really thought that they were just going to get Fergie to go out and say positive things about how great Meghan is. And all she said is, I can't judge them. You know, whatever they do, that's up to them. You know, nothing to do with me. Diana would be proud of her grandkids and her boys, and I'm off. Team Charles. Because now Fergie is back in the royal fold. She certainly isn't going to mess that up for these 2 royal rogues in Montecito, who won't even put her up in a guest room if she's in town. But again, I do find it ironic and funny how Harry and Meghan really thought, because they threw her a bone, that she was going to be their cheerleader, but clearly she is not. So that is, in my opinion, I believe Fergie when she said, I don't really know her. We've never actually sat down and got to know each other. It's been very brief. Because if you really think about it logistically, Harry and Meghan have been out of the UK longer than they were in. And Fergie has been to so few events that Meghan would have been in attendance to. They really didn't run into each other that often. So what do you guys think? Are you Team Fergie or are you Team Meghan? I think Fergie's telling the truth. She don't know her. And I don't think she likes her, in my opinion. But that's all the royalty that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.